Welcome to Fantasy Crafts. Your host is not here right now. I'm Bellatrix Lestrange, and I'm going to be showing you how to do a wicked sign for this year's creepy Halloween. Let's get to it. First, you're going to need a wooden plank. It doesn't matter what size. So it doesn't really matter what size. You can do this big or this small. It doesn't matter. So we're going to use the big one today, since it's Halloween. Bigger the better, right? Okay. First off, you can do any color. I'm going to do red and black paint today for the sign, since it's Halloween. So I like to use these yogurt cartons for paint purposes, because it's an easy cleanup. Because it's an easy cleanup and it's easier to recycle. So you're gonna put red in one. Again, it doesn't matter what colors you're going to be using, because it is Halloween. It doesn't really matter. Then you're going to need black if you want. It doesn't really matter. If you're going to do this tutorial, I recommend acrylic paint. Well, it washes quicker and it dries faster. Sorry, I can't speak today. It's been quite a crazy year. So, you're going to need these stencils and to write whatever creepy message you're going to write. Like, these are easy to get your hands on. You just you peel the back, and because it's mostly staples. So I'm going to do beware of, I'm going to put beware something something. Again, it doesn't matter what you use, because again, it's only Halloween, and or you can do caution, beware, or whatever. If you don't have enough letters, you can always do freehand. It's up to you. It's anyone's project. For little kids, you can have them paint like creatures and put eyes on it. If you like, it doesn't matter. So, you don't really need paintbrushes for this unless you're going to do freehand. So I'm going to be using these makeup wipes, which is very good for everyday use. I use them on my nails a lot. And again, you can pretty much do whatever you want with these. So I'm going to dip my sponge in the red. and very lightly and very lightly sponge on the letters. You don't want it too too bold, because if you really want to get that faded, weather look, do it very lightly, because it'll give that really cool effect. Then after you're done, you may skip ahead and put on flowers, charms, beads. You can seriously put anything on this. Then after, these curtains are really good to clean up the excess. Get a little bit of black and do the same thing. Wipe off the excess. Excuse me. And just lightly dab it on. You don't want to put too much of the black, because it wouldn't look as real. Okay, so again, if you don't have enough letters, you just peel it off and just put it what else you want, because these are very recyclable. You can reuse these over and over again. They won't go bad. These also can be washable. Well, since the sponge already has the colors, we're just going to lightly dab it on. Even if you buff it on, it kind of helps a little bit with like coverage. So you can put your letters back. Gently peel the letters off. You don't want these to rip, because these are very fragile. Again, you don't have to do stencils. You can do freehand. You can do freehand. You can even use like beads. I have seen people use beads a lot. But if you're working with younger kids, I would recommend stencil and paint. So if you're doing this tutorial and you haven't skipped ahead, this is what it should look like. All right. Now you can put like beware caution witch or beware caution plants. We're going to do witch because why not? So you want to spell caution. Since it is Halloween, I'm going to be doing a countdown like you see with my friend, Dr. Skeleton. He's going to be counting down for us. And then the week of Halloween, okay, thank you. Anyways, now you want to paint it. Always make sure that your letters are I was close by one letter. Always make sure your spelling is decent. So, no problem with spelling errors. You can always move the letters around. So make sure you spell check before making it permanent. Okay, now we paint it. Hopefully. So again, we already have paint on this, so wait till you paint it. Paint it the same way like you did on the first letters. If you didn't, skip ahead. If you have access, just wipe it off. This is why we have these sponges. I don't recommend paintbrushes with this because you don't have the ability to wipe off the axis and without making a mess. Like, with this sign I made, this was free-handed. And then I put the flowers, charms, and the beads. Sorry, I didn't mean me, I mean my coworker. Anyways, how did I come back from the dead? Magic spell. So next week, I'm going to be showing you how to do, not me, but another character. We'll be showing you how to do last minute Halloween costumes next week. Then heading towards Halloween. Then heading towards Halloween, we're going to be showing how to spice up your Halloween party. So now you're gonna be peeling back your stickers, I suppose you can call it. Yes, you can use tweezers. If you don't have tweezers, use your fingernail. If you don't have fingernails, then use a sewing needle. Okay, so once you're done with that, you want to move on to your third word, which is either witch or plant or some monstrous being in a wacky Halloween world. So now you want to spell witch if you're following my tutorial. Because again, why not? Make sure that's not like witch like in sandwich or which way that they go. Just make sure you get your grammar right, because I had that trouble. So you want to put witch as in wicked witch or crazy witch like I am right now. Then I just need the H. Again, now we paint it. This time you might want to do, you can do any color. I figured to do a darker color now. Now you peel it back, your remaining word. Make sure before painting you have a spell check. I mean, don't worry about the mess. It just makes it look more cool. So this is what it should look like. Now you can put anything on your board. So I'm going to put flowers. So I'm going to put flowers down first. Make sure it's at a corner. And make sure it's laid down flat, like at an angle, so it'll stick on better. Doesn't matter what colors you use. I'm using red. I'm doing red and orange. Then down here I'm going to be doing similar. But using these cool plants. So now you can add ivy if you like. Just make sure that when you use the hot glue, you make it into a C shape. Or some may say the crescent moon look. So you want to line up your vine to the hot glue. If you need to stick it down more, just add some more. You can even kind of just try to weave it a little bit. Give a nice curl. If you have a small extra piece, you can put it right here. Like it's a windy breeze. Don't worry if a small piece comes off. Sometimes hot glue doesn't want to stay because there's two reasons. One, moisture. Two, really flexible wire. It's not your fault. Don't worry about that. Just make sure it's really down. Just make sure it stays down there. Then you want to do the same thing on the other side. Just sometimes it's good to make sure that your hot glue stream is thick enough so it can stick. You don't want it to you don't want it to come off right away. You just don't want it to come off, period. So I think just making sure that's down properly is a good way to get things going. Okay. So now we're going to add our beads or charms or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to use, you can use eyes, you can use gems, doesn't matter exactly what you use. So I'm just going to go with gems because I think it would just go better in my opinion. You don't want to put a lot of gems on. I'll just make it look tacky. I'll say probably 3 per corner. Just make sure they're the same shape. Doesn't matter in color. I feel like if you do like a different color of gem, it gives it more dimension. In my experience as being a crafty witch. Yeah. Again, make sure it's the same shape. Doesn't matter what pattern or order you're going to use it for, it just makes it look semi-cooler. So we got 16 days left to Halloween, guys. We can make it through it. Halloween is not canceled. We can make it through it, guys. Then you just add your last bead to your last corner. And there you have it. You have your witch's sign, your caution witch's sign for your the front door or the hallway or whatever you want. Have a nice night. Have a wonderful night, and I hope all your wishes come through. Good night.